We kick off the second segment of our program with a look back on the events of last year in Africa and Nepal, which included helping those in need in the Ebola-stricken Sierra Leone and the humanitarian relief in the aftermath of the major earthquake that struck Kathmandu.
In 2014, the Ebola outbreak erupted in West Africa, with Sierra Leone being the worst hit. In March 2015, members from Healy International Relief Foundation in the U.S. came to Taiwan to sign an MOU with Tzu Chi to help Sierra Leone together.
Is the intrinsic compassion and goodness that both of our foundations feel exist in every person.
Tzu Chi volunteers quickly prepared aid supplies to be shipped to Sierra Leone.
We're very happy for all the brothers who showed up here today and all those who have been supporting us. Thank you very much.
Namibia, 启程咯.
In 2015, Tzu Chi volunteers went to Namibia for the first time. Altogether, Tzu Chi now serves 7 countries in Africa.
We are one family.
Follow, 我们要去佛展了. When we have the love in our heart, somebody need help, we must give in our hand.
In South Africa, the volunteers went to several towns to share Tzu Chi values and bring aid to the needy. In Lesotho, a volunteer encouraged the locals to give. In Zimbabwe, feeling for those who had to walk a long way to fetch water every day, Tzu Chi volunteers dug wells in several local communities.
Given us water, so it's my tabasa.
In Mozambique, inspired by Tzu Chi volunteers, many people saved up coins and pooled their savings to help those worse off than them. In Swaziland, Tzu Chi volunteers visited the poor and brought rice to them. Although the road was rugged and slippery, the volunteers pressed on resolutely. Wherever Tzu Chi volunteers in Africa go to serve, they listen to Dharma Master Zhengyan's teachings every morning. They also regularly hold gatherings to share experiences.
闪亮的黑珍珠一粒粒都在发光发亮的付出。
The love in their hearts has brought light to the dark corners of Africa. In April, overseas Tzu Chi volunteers gathered in Taiwan for an annual meeting. All of them vowed to hold on to their convictions. On April 25th, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal, killing more than 8,000 people. The following day, Tzu Chi members quickly planned their relief effort, and Tzu Chi hospitals also prepared medical supplies to be sent to Nepal. On April 27th, Tzu Chi's relief team left for Nepal. Upon arrival, they started surveying disaster areas and visiting quake survivors. After receiving permission to practice medicine in Nepal, Tzu Chi doctors began to provide medical services on April 30th. At the same time, Tzu Chi members in Taiwan were busily preparing aid supplies for Nepal. In Nepal, Tzu Chi doctors not only performed surgery for the injured, but also helped deliver a pair of twins.
You and our doctor, so I really want to thank you.
Tzu Chi volunteers in 38 countries and regions took to the streets to fundraise for Nepal.
好，感恩，祝福你。
都爱大尼泊尔，谢谢你。在艰难中激发人民，在繁琐中学习耐心。妈妈尼泊尔。在复杂中欣赏有。
In May, Tzu Chi held an aid distribution for quake survivors in Nepal. Many young local people were inspired to volunteer with Tzu Chi.
We are Tzu Chi volunteers.
Moved by what Tzu Chi has done, even Nepali entrepreneurs pitched in to help with Tzu Chi's relief effort.
Tzu Chi is really doing a great job for earthquake victims in Nepal.
Apart from helping the quake survivors, the volunteers also visited housing communities Tzu Chi built in Nepal over 20 years ago. In 1993, Nepal was hit by severe flooding. Within 2 years, Tzu Chi built 4 housing communities for flood survivors. To thank Tzu Chi, the government erected a commemorative stele at the entrance to each housing community. Over the years, the stele has been covered in cracks, but it still stands tall, bearing witness to a story of love.
Our volunteers from Nepal!
Tzu Chi volunteers also invited Nepali doctors to join Tzu Chi's medical association, held a gathering to share Tzu Chi's values with local teachers, and built temporary housing and classrooms for the locals.
I feel very happy.
At a prayer service, the volunteers invited everyone to pray together for Nepal.